I have some warm milk. I had some milk I warmed up in the fridge. Jeez. That's not like. This is my first YouTube video. You gotta give me a break. So I got 3 tablespoons of sugar in my milk that I warmed up in the micro for like 25 seconds. I don't need it to be boiling hot. Actually, I don't want it to be hot at all. I just need it to be warm, about body temperature, probably about 95 degrees is okay. Probably a little bit, somewhere around there. I like between 95 and 100. That's how I usually like to do my sourdough too, when I add water to it. I like my water to be at least body temperature. So I'm throwing in my my instant yeast and 3 tablespoons of sugar and mixing it up. I'm leaving that over to the side, and I'm going to let it sit for maybe up to about 5 minutes. In that time, I'm going to be measuring out my other ingredients, but I found like this is the most efficient use of resources in my space allocated, I guess. I'm always trying to figure out what the most efficient way for me to do stuff is. Alright, so in this bowl, 500 grams of flour, 2 tablespoons of butter. I softened it in the micro too. Butter and 1 egg. Okay, this is looking good. I'm going to take this and work it a little bit more here, but for the most part I think everything's coming together okay. It's a little bit more flour than I've used before, but I'm going to use a bigger pan too. Alright, so my greased bowl, I made a nice tight ball. So remember to take a before picture. Alright, so this is how big it is. It's ready to go. Gotta let it sit in like an oven about 100 degrees for about 35-45 minutes. I'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and dump it out. Let gravity do the work. Ooh, a little bit stuck, not a problem. Nice and fluffy. It's just like a pillow or something. It's weird, nice and airy. Oh, I'll measure up my pan. You can see that a little better. I'm just gonna line it up with the pan. I'm just gonna stretch it out, and then actually I need to stretch it out wider. All right, so it's a little bit wider because I am going to basically fold it in like that, and then this still feels great. Again, shouldn't take as long. So let's hopefully it'll just be like that. Leaving it like that, big hole in it. Okay. So it's a little before 7 in the evening. Should probably give it like minutes or so. I think that's the time I used before. So let it rest, do a second rise, and then the oven is preheating, so that should take a few minutes, and this should be about 20. I forgot, did I do that or not? I did not take a before picture. I always take a before picture. Oops. Forgot to take a picture before, but this thing looks fantastic. Smoothed out quite a bit. Looks great. This is going to be how I want to do them for now, because this is going to be, it's not going to be like super tall, I don't think, but it will be really functional, because this is like a nice snack, not a snack, but like for lunch, make a sandwich. This autofocus wasn't on, so maybe it didn't get it all the way on. There we go. Let's do like this. See how pretty that the egg wash makes it look? It's a nice size. We can work through it pretty well. It's longer and a little bit shorter, but for some reason my wife and I eat it faster when it's like that. If it's bigger pieces, for some reason it just doesn't go as fast, even though it's the same, almost the same volume. This one's a little bit bigger. Actually, I could probably go around my usual 666 grams of flour, then do 51% hydration with the milk. But yeah, that's probably the next experiment. But as for right now, this is good. I'm gonna let it sit for a few hours because it's like 7 o'clock. Before I go to bed, I'll bag it up, and then in the morning, I'll break it out and have some breakfast. The next morning. Solid chrome. It's really hard to screw this up. That's why I like it. Yeah, it's not huge, but I just want enough to make a small sandwich. I don't need a whole lot, so that way I can actually use it more. When it's the larger ones, they look impressive, but I found they're a little bit weaker when you toast them. So this is a good structural integrity, and it's good just to be able to make a sandwich to spread like mayonnaise or butter or whatever on it. So I'm gonna eat now.